Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to break down how to get rid of debt and, even better, pay it off faster. Look, I know it can feel like a huge, overwhelming journey, but we're going to map it all out step by step so you can finally take back control of your finances.
When you're staring at a mountain of debt, that feeling of being totally overwhelmed, yeah, that's completely normal. And you know what? You're definitely not alone in feeling like it's just impossible to ever dig your way out. But here's the thing. It is absolutely possible. You just need a solid plan.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to hit some quick wins by taming your credit cards. Then, we'll get into mastering your money flow to build a really strong foundation. We'll also cover when it might be smart to call for help. And finally, we'll lock in some habits that'll help you stay debt-free for good.
Okay, first up, credit cards. This is where you can really make a dent right away and get that momentum going. Seriously, think of this as the front line in your battle against debt.
Okay, let's walk through these because they're actually super straightforward. 1, call your credit card companies and just ask for a lower interest rate. If you've been a decent customer, you'd be surprised how often this works. 2, target the card with the highest interest rate and throw every extra penny at it. That's called the avalanche method, and it saves you the most money in the long run. 3, think about consolidating. That just means grouping several debts into one single lower interest loan. 4, and this one is huge, stop adding to the pile. Switch to a debit card or cash for a while. And 5, always pay more than the minimum. I mean, the minimum payment is literally a trap designed to keep you paying interest for like decades.
Okay, so once you've kind of stopped the bleeding with the credit cards, now it's time to build that solid foundation for the long haul. This is all about creating a system that works for you so you can build real long-term financial health.
And the number one tool for that? A budget. I know, the word budget can sound restrictive, right? Like a financial prison. But trust me, it's the total opposite. It's your tool for freedom. It means you're telling your money where to go instead of scratching your head wondering where it all went. You're in control.
And look, this is how simple it can be. On one side, you list all the money you have coming in. On the other, all the essential stuff that has to get paid. Rent, utilities, you know the drill. Subtract the expenses from the income, and whatever is left over, that's your secret weapon. That's the cash you can throw directly at your debt to make it disappear faster.
So, you want to make that secret weapon even bigger, right? How do you do that? Well, it really boils down to 2 things. First, you can trim your spending. And we're not talking about huge sacrifices, just little things, right? Like cooking at home a few more nights a week or using coupons. And at the same time, you can look for ways to earn more, whether that's grabbing a side hustle or finding ways to get more commissions at your job.
So, what happens if the debt just feels way too big to handle on your own? It's so important to remember this. Asking for help is not a sign of failure at all. It's actually a super smart, strategic move to call in the reinforcements when you need them.
You basically got 3 main paths you can explore here. First, there's credit counseling, usually from a nonprofit. Think of them as a financial coach who helps you make a plan. Then there's debt settlement. This is where a company negotiates with your creditors so you pay back less than you owe. But here's the catch. You will hurt your credit score, which can make things harder down the road. And finally, there's bankruptcy. That's the last resort, the nuclear option. It gives you legal protection, but it stays on your credit report for about 7 years.
You know, getting out of debt is one thing, but staying out of debt, that's the real prize. So this last part is all about locking in those good habits for good so you never have to go through this again.
Okay, this one is fascinating. It's a total brain hack. Think about it. When you pull out a $20 bill and physically hand it over, you feel it. Swiping a piece of plastic? Not so much. It just doesn't register the same way. Using cash, especially for fun stuff, is an amazing way to keep your spending in check.
Okay, I need to be really clear about this one. Payday loans. They might look like an easy fix when you're in a jam, but their interest rates are astronomically high. They are designed from the ground up to trap you in a cycle of debt. Just stay away, at all costs.
Now, balance transfer cards, they can seem like a magic bullet, right? That 0% interest is so tempting, but you have to read the fine print. If you miss a payment or don't pay it all off in time, that rate can suddenly shoot way up to a super high penalty rate, and you could end up in an even deeper hole than before.
All right, this next one's going to sound a little weird, but stick with me. As you pay off a card, you get that urge to just cut it up and close the account, right? Feels good. But hold on. Closing an old account, especially one you've had for a long time, can actually shorten your credit history, which can ding your credit score. It's kind of weird, but sometimes the best thing to do is just keep it open and not use it.
So, what does this all boil down to? Look, there's no magic wand for getting out of debt.
It's all about having a clear plan, using the tools we've talked about, and really committing to yourself and your future. You can absolutely take control. You've got this.
Wow, okay, we've covered a ton of ground here, from the quick and easy wins to the big, long-term strategies. So I'm going to leave you with one final question. Not tomorrow, not next week. What is the one small thing you can do today to get started on this journey?